welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE PLE recaps. I'm your host, the Secret Boss Cal, and alongside me today, I have a special guest. As you guys know, Clemens and Alicia just had her second baby. We were talking about that before. So she could not make it today. We're wishing her a speedy recovery for unfortunately, bringing another female into this world. As we know how we feel about females here on AfterMat, that their only use is in the kitchen and in the bedroom. So, which is contributing to a problem in the world, as you know. But without Alicia here, we do have a special guest. We have the man with probably the worst take in wrestling. He usually has all the worst takes. He has all the wrong predictions. He is the Doink the Clown of Aftermath. He is a stable member. He is the Firefox. He is Will. How are you doing, Will?
Hello, thank you for help. Thank you for I'm trying to get over the laughing fit that you caused me on the intro there. But I'm okay. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
All
I
completely
know I'm
accurate.
normally here only for the Rumbles.
Yes. Unfortunately, we could not get the likes of, you know, some like greats such as Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon to be here, so we had to settle for Will, and that's why Will is here. Welcome, Connell. Thank you for joining us in the chat as well. Thank you. Hello. Yeah, so today we'll be talking about our next foreign PLE that we've had. One that was record setting. I'm sure Will has the numbers on that or something. He has some probably obscure fact about it, but he'll get to that when. Or you can talk about now. Do you know what the fact was about this?
The fact that they've announced on the show that it's the highest grossing pay per view, like arena like sell wise ever in WWE. The third time they broke it this year. Here, Berlin, Germany broke the record for grossing like arena pay and all that.
Yeah, which is I don't know if that's a wise thing to say. It's like you guys have paid more than what anyone else has paid, which is kind of like a slap in the face. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how like why would they say that? It's like they're just saying maybe your ticket prices are higher, and or I guess.
Well, it also accumulates to like merch sales and everything too. All that.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I didn't know that was taken into account too. But okay, but still, I feel like when it comes once a year, if that, like, well, this was like what the first time in like 20 years or whatever it was. If that, I don't even know what it was, but I guess they can charge a higher rate because it's not coming as often. So like just like the Super Bowl tickets are crazy expensive because that's only once a year. So and the same thing for WrestleMania. WrestleMania tickets are expensive. I mean, I guess any PLE, but the fact is that especially foreign ones because they have more rabid fans, I should say, because they don't see it as often. And when they see it, when it's there, like they'll pay whatever they can to actually witness it in person. So it makes sense. But without giving away, your overall grades and all that, like what did you think about the card when you're looking at the card? Were you excited for this PLE and all that kind of stuff? How did you feel about it?
There were a few matches I was excited for. Without going into spoilers, I was really excited for Gunther Randy Orton too. I'm intrigued with the Judgment Day and the Terror Twin storyline going on. I thought the KO and Cody Rhodes match would be before seeing it would be putting on a stellar card match. I my Going into the show, I would say the card was like definitely a B show, in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, like I was really only excited for the CM Punk Drew match, and then like possibly the Gunther match because it was in Germany, even though it's like Austrian or whatever he's supposed to be. Like like that was gonna be. I want to see how that was. Like kind of like was it gonna be like a CM Punk Chicago thing or what was it gonna be like? And that's what I was interested in seeing for that. But mostly I was only interested in the strap. I didn't want it to be a strap match. Like I don't really care much for strap match. I think they're pretty stupid. But just saying CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, I think their story is probably one of the best going on now, besides the Roman Reigns and Rock thing. Um, like I just love the story, and but I wasn't really excited for the PLE or anything like that. But did it live up to my hype? I guess we'll talk about it when we get to our finishers. So the night opened up with um, the WWE Championship match featuring the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes defending against Kevin Owens. I believe Will want to cover this match.
Yep. So the match was between two friends. So they started off with a handshake, and it wasn't like a punch out fighting match. There was a lot of technical in ring prowess of lockups and takedown holds. Cody Rhodes started this match off with a couple different submission holds to try wearing Kevin Owens down. Down the entire match, it was a respectful bout between the two competitors, but throughout the match, Kevin Owens, when he had the momentum, he was working on Cody Rhodes' ribs because I believe Cody Rhodes earlier this year had a rib injury or in storyline or something. But throughout the match, you saw Kevin Owens focusing on Cody's rib area, and that was the focal point of his attack. Even though on SmackDown he teased that Cody Rhodes might have had a knee injury. Uh, Trying to remember the order of events here off the top of my head because I rewatched the show this morning to get a fresher up on it. But Cody Rhodes was the first to hit a finisher with the crossroads, I believe. That's because Cody went for either a disaster kick or Cody cutter. Kevin Owens countered it into a stunner attempt, but Cody Rhodes countered that into the first crossroads of the match. And then Kevin Owens got the shoulder up at 2. The match would continue, and Cody going towards the end of it. Cody went for one of his corner Cody cutters, but as he went up to the top rope, he came down, selling the knee injury that was rumored to be taking place on him. Kevin Owens was hesitant and didn't go after the knee, which, in a sense, would have sort of cost him the match because he didn't go for that knee. So they get outside the ring. Kevin Owens was concerned for Cody. Cody saying, "No, I'm okay. And then Kevin Owens kicked the knee out from Cody Rhodes, knocking him down. Kevin Owens got Cody Rhodes in a powerbomb position by the apron as if he was going to go for the powerbomb to the apron spot that he normally does, but he hesitated to do it because he didn't have that killer instinct that he normally has because Cody is his friend and he didn't want to ruin that friendship or injure his friend. Eric's yelling at Kevin Owens the entire time, and Kevin even shouts at Wade to shut up. Cody Rhodes hits. They get back in the ring, and Cody Rhodes gets Kevin Owens in the Crossroads Trinity attack where he does a triple Crossroads. After the second one, though, Kevin Owens escapes it and hits a stunner. Climbs up to the top rope and does a swanton, but Cody gets the knees up. He's up to block the swanton attempt. Gets the fourth crossroad hit on the match, and that is when Kevin Owens is down for the count. After the match, Cody Rhodes has the title put around his waist by the ref. He gets up. He helps Kevin Owens up. They talk in the ring and hug it out. Kevin Owens even swats the camera away, and Kevin Owens raises Cody's arm up. Coach tried to raise Owens' arm up, but Owens refuses it. He doesn't want acknowledging the match performance because he feels like he didn't deserve this match because it was given to him. But that I feel like this is going to be leading to something else in the future. I was expecting a heel turn here. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get it because I like Kevin Owens as a heel, but I feel like that's something that's gonna be cooked to go down the road later on. What was your thoughts on this match, Cal?
I wasn't really looking forward to this match. I feel like Cody has single-handedly taken away value from that WWE title. I feel like if Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon took a shit together and it was a giant pile of shit together, and he put the belt around that would be more prestigious than Cody Rhodes holding this championship. Now he's already on the first match of the evening, and what's he gonna be on in his own home of Atlanta next time. He's going to be in the pre-show with alongside pre-show Jey Uso and defending the title or whatever. Like I don't know. Like I just felt like this match was okay. I didn't like there was not really any story like you were saying. It was just a match that was put together as two friends fighting each other just to see who the better man is, which is okay for a story, I guess. But like I said, like Cody hasn't really done anything with the championship. Like he's had a good match against like AJ, but there hasn't really been any story. It's like his story relies on the bloodline, right? And I've heard this other places too, where like he's even going to like a triple crossroads now. Like, should that not be a finisher if you had like three of them just to get the guy to like knock out? Like, what happens when he faces someone like The Rock? He's gonna hit like 72 in a row just to get The Rock out. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Cody, everyone like all you like what the Cody crybabies were making Cody to be at this make him out to be this great guy, and like he's just been pretty boring. Like even for like people who are Cody fans are like we'd like to see more out of him because they know his potential. Like they know what Cody can do and all that, and he's just like he's a great on the mic. He's a good wrestler and all that. Like I feel like I think what Cody's best aspect or is like him outside of wrestling, like the kind and generous guy that he is outside of wrestling. That's the Cody I like. I don't like him in the WWE as a wrestler or a superstar, I should say, because like he's just boring. It's the same thing. Like his whole thing was to chase, and now that he has it, it's like nothing. And this match was like it's good. Like good wrestlers going some good spots, but like the I don't know, it just wasn't like there should have been a better payoff. Like you're saying, there should have been like a Kevin Owens turn or something, or maybe a Cody turn. That would have been cool too. But obviously they can't have Cody turn. He's like the Cena right now, of the company where like the kids love him and the merchandise sales and all that. So they can't really have him turn heel. I don't know if we'll ever see it. I'm sure we'll should see it in the future, maybe when he's not champion anymore. But while he's champion, I don't see him turning heel. And like I don't know, they gotta do something with Cody because it's really getting like I said he was bland the second he won the championship. So like I'm biased, but I feel like other people are finally coming around to my side and saying like, yeah, this is kind of like not feeling like a champion Cody. It's just like a guy that has a belt around his waist, and it's not the Cody that they wanted to see or expected to see. Like they thought he would elevate it, kind of like how whenever Miz gets like the Intercontinental Championship, he elevates it. Now I feel like Gunther has done that. Even Damian Priest kind of did that. Like he was more significant of a story than Cody Rhodes holding the belt. And people even like the Ula Fala like storyline is even more like you. I think like the Ula Fala people would want that more than this belt that he has, or like even like
the 50-cent bracelet.
The bracelet, yeah, the bracelet that CM Punk has, like that too, like that. You see what I mean? Like that's those stories that are told with those two objects are more than what stories they're telling with this belt. At least with the Damian Priest, like who I don't really like either, but like that was more intriguing with his story with the Judgment Day and Finn Balor and all that, and then having Gunther win because of, and even with Gunther winning the belt, there's still some controversy behind it because of how he won the King of the Ring with Orton's shoulder being up, and that paid off now to the last match of the evening for Bash in Berlin. So like, there's just so much more story told with those other Gunther's belt or Damian Priest belt, however you want to say it, that transitioned there, and then the friendship bracelet or whatever you want to call it, and the Ula Fala. Like then Cody has. Like I know you're a huge Cody fan and you love who he is, but like, would you agree that like the story for him because I think his whole story was him trying to get that belt, and now that he has it, I think his story has declined. Like I don't think he's brought that belt up. Like he brought himself up to that belt, but I don't think he brought that belt up. Is what I think.
Yeah, I can, as a Cody Rhodes fan, I can agree to that. That I think that the belt has definitely brought Cody up, but I think it's stagnated him. I think what he needs is a really good heel to play off of that's not involved in the bloodline. Because I have a funny feeling they're going back to Solo Sikoa now, which I'm sorry, the SummerSlam match between Cody and Solo was horrible. I did not like it. I even went back and rewatched it to get the gist of the Roman return and all that out of it, and I was like, oh, this match is actually horrible. Horrible,
exactly what I've been saying. Like,
but I think, but it's not to say that Cody's not talented, Solo's not talented. The match didn't mesh well. Well, I don't takes. I don't see Solo as a serious contender for anything. Anything, to be frank,
Mm-hmm.
frank at all. Oh, I don't think he's a threat, but that's an issue with SmackDown. SmackDown has no other big heels that Cody can go through a multi-month line storyline with.
I think he's only a placeholder for the bloodline. Like him doing this is like, okay, then he'll fight. Then he'll fight. Solo, like you said, a Bad Blood. Then that will set up the bloodline storyline for the family versus family. Tribe versus tribe, whatever you want to call it. With you know, the one bloodline versus the other bloodline in the War Games, which then will ultimately have maybe Cody be on Roman Reigns' side, but then the Rock's gonna be there, and then the Rock it's ultimately gonna lead to Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania 40. What is it? 141 it is like that. Like it's basically just holding it till that point is what I see it as. I hope it comes before that. I hope it comes to Royal Rumble and Rock beats him at Rumble, and then we can get maybe Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. But I think they might wait another year for that, which is insane. Um, so I don't know. Like I just feel like he's a placeholder, kind of like, and like it's just that he's so popular with the fans and the kids that they can do that. But like you said, there's no good heel for him. It's stupid. Like I really think it's stagnant. I've been saying that since he won because I knew his whole thing was to chase. Now that he has it, I think I even said that like on the aftermath post WrestleMania. I'm like, okay, well, great. Now for all you people who wanted to win, now that he won, let's see what he does with it. And in my opinion, he's had good matches, which you expect from him, but he has no story. And like wrestling's been so story driven. That's what they talk about, like the difference between AEW and WWE. Well, because like there's amazing wrestling in AEW, but the story is like not there. That's why it doesn't draw fans in anymore, right? It gets really bad attendance records, and now even the what do you call it? TV ratings are going down as well. Because you like Delisha says, I love story. Delisha loves story. Like you need that. You can have the best wrestlers in the world, and they can have amazing matches, 7-star matches, as Meltzer would say, 8-star matches, whatever. But if there's no story, like that's like it's funny how people say like, oh, the Ulafala and like that little bracelet have more of a story than anything in AEW, which is sad to hear for AEW fans and people who work in AEW, but it's true. Like if you don't have a good story, you're not gonna bring people in. Because like wrestling is like a soap opera, or no, it's not wrestling. WWE and sports entertainment is like a soap opera. Wrestling, I know there's professional wrestling out there, which Olympic style, but about the actual WWE wrestling, you need that story. That's what I think Cody's lacking. I guess we have Solo. We'll see what happens after the Solo thing. I don't expect anything. I think all the Solo thing that's gonna happen to Bad Blood is to have set up the Bloodline feud more for the next few PLEs with War Games and all that coming up. I don't see anything with Cody going. We need someone, like you said, a new villain or something. And I guess we'll have to see who's up next. I don't even know who's on the roster, so we'll have to go. I'll have to go through the roster and see who's worthy of fighting Cody. All right.
Question I
Yeah.
have before we transition to the next match. Would you move Drew McIntyre to SmackDown and have him do a program with Cody? Do you think that would be a good story? Because they were tag team champions together at one point.
Yeah, that would be great. Like Drew McIntyre, I think, has done a good job of elevating whoever he's fought, right? Any feud he's had recently with what do you call it? With CM Punk, and before that, who was it? He was with Damian Priest.
It was Damian Priest, Jey
Yeah,
Uso at one point, and when he was as a face, he was elevated with the likes of
Brock Lesnar and all that. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So like, no, yeah.
But
I think Drew
I
has.
think Drew.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Drew will be like the perfect person, like move on to Cody Rhodes.
Right. And I feel like
Rhodes, but we would have to get him from Raw to SmackDown.
they kind of had a similar story, other than like Cody starting his own company elsewhere, but they left and then they came back, kind of thing. But like I feel like Drew has learned more for the wrestling aspect of it, of like the story in wrestling, whereas Cody learned more of the business side of the aspect, starting his own company. He learned how to be a businessman now, as you can see the way he dresses in a suit and all that kind of stuff. He's more of a businessman, like Cena is a businessman and The Rock is a businessman. But Cena and The Rock already had that wrestling like storyline thing in them. Cody and Drew did not have that. I don't think. That's why like that whole Stardust thing was pretty awful. Even though I thought it was funny, but I think Drew really learned a lot when it came to the storyline of it whereas Cody, like I said, is a business, and that's the issue. So maybe them fighting, that'd be a good idea, like you said, because one's like the business aspect and one's like the story aspect, and having those two go together might be a good mesh and could be his probably best feud since Roman Reigns. But let's move on to the next match, which features your WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match with the WWE Tag Team Women's Champions. I don't know, are they called the Unholy Union, or did I just make that up for your show?
No, they're called the Unholy Union.
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, who I still don't think have a nickname tag team name, but I still call them the Black Beauties, because I think they are both gorgeous, and I don't know. I like them as a tag team, but we know what's gonna happen. Like come WrestleMania, they're gonna be fighting each other at WrestleMania. There's gonna be some sort of, they had to put the well we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay. Anyway, the match starts off with all four. Like, well, first it was just Bianca in the ring, and both the champions, the Unholy Union, were like kind of like surrounding her. So then Jade got back into the ring, and all four women fought until it was left with like Bianca in the ring. That's when the Unholy Union like pretty much isolated her from Jade Cargill, because we know why. Because obviously they don't think Jade Cargill is ready to like carry a match, so she's there just learning and watching Bianca while Bianca pretty much carries the match, and then Jade comes in for the big spots, which she did. Eventually there was a hot tag, and Jade Cargill came to the ring and cleaned house as expected. Then we got some good tag team maneuvers, which I love seeing nowadays. Like I watched the NXT PLE the other day, and it was like, I forgot what the tag team was. Like Axiom and Fraser, and the Chase
Duo.
I didn't know their name, but yeah. Chase U, like they had some really good tag team. Like I grew up in seeing like the old school wrestling, like tag, like Demolition and LOD and all them, and like all those people doing like cool tag team maneuvers. Hard Foundation, and we don't see that now. Now it's just like I always say, it's like two individuals put together, and they're not like tag teams anymore. They're just like two individuals put together. Not really many storyline tag teams that come up. But yeah, now I like seeing these like even like Alba Dawn and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn had some good tag team maneuvers to do. But eventually, obviously, these two powerful women were able to take the upper hand, and they did like their finisher was like face buster into a back suplex into like whatever it is, that cool finisher that they do, and Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair pick up the pin, and are now the new women's tag team champions. And the reason why I was saying that, I kind of gave away what I was going to say later, is that the reason why I think they're champions again, they're going to hold it for a little bit now, and they're eventually going to lose it, and it's probably going to be Bianca getting pinned, because they made a point to say that like Jade's never lost or been pinned. She's lost by disqualification once, but other than that, she's never been pinned or submitted. So I feel like maybe Bianca's going to lose it for them, or if Jade does get pinned, she's going to blame Bianca for it, which will cause the rift of their thing, and like story that we've seen a million times in wrestling before. I hope they make some new spin on it, but that's going to lead them to face each other at WrestleMania, most likely. Welcome, Delisha. How are you? I was telling them how you brought another woman into this world and how worthless that is, but welcome. What are your thoughts on this match, Will?
I was pretty bored in this match, to be honest. I think all four are talented. I think the wrong team won. I feel like Dawn and Fire should have retained, but that's just because I'm tired of the current Bianca Belair that we're getting. I think Bianca's character is stale. I need her to turn heel to freshen up her aspect, because frankly, I'm tired of this character that she's currently playing. I think it's stale and old at this point.
Well, I'd love to see them both turn heel. That'd be great. But one of them's got to have to probably be a face when it comes to their match. So I guess they can turn heel now and become more ruthless. But I feel like Bianca's more of a singles competitor, and Jade right now needs Bianca until she's like not green anymore. Which is weird to say that she's green, even though she's been in another company and all that. But I don't know. But this one match, I wasn't really looking forward to this match that much, but I do like their tag team wrestling that they do together because they're both strong women. So I love seeing their tag team maneuvers they do. So that's why I didn't have much to say about this match. The next match was the strap match, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. In a strap match, the way the strap match works is that both men are tied at the wrist, by I don't know, it was a 10-foot long strap. I don't know how long they said the strap was. And they
13.
13-foot. Yeah, okay, thank you. 13-foot strap, and both men must, or to win the match, one man or both men, I guess, have to touch each corner in succession without interruption, which is kind of like what I guess it's the referee's discretion on what an interruption is, I guess. But anyway, the match started out with Drew coming to the ring first, followed by CM Punk. Before CM Punk can get into the ring, he's attacked by Drew. Drew takes him out to the outside, beats him up outside, beats him up inside, and it didn't matter because the match had not started yet, so he could do whatever. Not that there's rules during the match anyway, but he really did brutalize CM Punk prior to the match. Then once they were finally able to tie the wrists together or tie the strap to each one of their wrists, that's when the match started. McIntyre then was started to take advantage of CM Punk's like weakened state, but CM Punk, ever the relentless competitor, he came back and countered a lot of Drew McIntyre's moves and took the upper hand for a little bit until they got to the outside, and then Drew McIntyre started taking advantage, and then he went for a future shock on the announcer table, but CM Punk countered that. As we saw a lot of counters by CM Punk. Then they finally got back into the ring. CM Punk hit a GTS, started going to the what do you call it? The turnbuckles, but he did not get all the turnbuckles. Drew McIntyre then threw CM Punk over the ropes again. They both were on the outside. And CM Punk actually pulled Drew McIntyre into the turnbuckle post from the outside. Then they rolled back into the ring. I think that's when CM Punk went to go. No, that's when Drew McIntyre got back in advantage and pretty much put CM Punk on his back and started carrying him around the ring. And Drew McIntyre hit one turnbuckle, then CM Punk hit it. Hit the same turnbuckle. Then they went to another turnbuckle. Drew McIntyre hit it. And as he turned to go to the third one, CM Punk hit the second one. Same thing happened at the third turnbuckle. And then they both fought to get to the fourth turnbuckle, but that was considered interruption, I guess, because they both started fighting in the middle of the ring. So then all the turnbuckles got like wiped clean by the two lights. Green signified CM Punk, red signified Drew McIntyre. Then I think CM Punk put Drew into a sharpshooter. And Drew actually tapped, but that doesn't matter because that's not how you win a strap match. Then Drew, I forgot how he got some momentum, but he was able to do a kip up and then hit a claymore. And no, he did a kip up first and then pulled out the bracelet from his trunks, put it on his wrist, and then hit the claymore. And she started to do the turnbuckles again. However, CM Punk got a second wind, hit him with a GTS, and then he was about to go for the I think he hit one turnbuckle, then hit like three more GTSs, and hit the second turnbuckle, the third turnbuckle, and before he hit the fourth, he noticed the bracelet, took it off again. I think he might have hit one more GTS after that, and then hit the fourth turnbuckle and picked up the victory. And now CM Punk just got his first win since his return, and he also got back his bracelet. What you think of this match, Will?
I thought this match was alright. Right, I thought it was good. Good. I don't think it's the conclusion of the rivalry, but I think it's a good like climax point to set up for the final showdown that I think is gonna be happening at Bad Blood. Um, I'm just really confused with the strap matches because sometimes you have to hit the turnbuckle pads. Other times you don't have to. It's whoever's the first to get a pinfall submission. A prime example is, and I believe when Drew McIntyre was carrying CM Punk and they were doing each one getting a turnbuckle pad thing. I think that happened in the CM Punk Umaga strap match, and I think that was a reference to that because I saw on Twitter that was a reference to something that happened in the past wrestling match. Strap match in history. I could be wrong on that, but I know when Punk and Umaga had their strap match, that was the rules of that one. But when Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt had their strap match, there was no turnbuckles in the point. It was whoever was the first win with pin or submission. So I wish there was one stagnant rule for this stipulation, so we know what we're getting. Because I found it annoying just seeing the wrestlers that want to literally kill each other fighting against the ropes, leaning on each other, trying to get to the last turnbuckle to hit it first. So I was expecting this to be a little more brutal. I mean, there was the table spot that CM Punk went through, and the strap kept falling off of Punk's wrist. It fell off at least twice. But this match was all right. I did see. I was expecting a little more out of it than we got, but it was better than the SummerSlam showdown.
Yeah, so for me, I felt the same way. Remember, I don't know if you remember what my commentary was about a SummerSlam match, but I remember saying that, like CM Punk like said, I'm going to do things to you that like, people won't recognize you after I'm done with you. I'm gonna like to do the most vicious things you could think of. I'm gonna almost kill you in that ring. And he didn't do that at SummerSlam. He didn't do that in this match. So like you were saying, there might be a third match, and everyone's speculating it's gonna be a bad Hell in a Cell match, a Bad Blood, or maybe even a First Blood match. I don't think they can do a First Blood match. I mean, they can, but like you see how open, the headbutt that busted open CM Punk. The thing about First Blood is like, what if you accidentally bleed? Like you get scraped.
Oh, we were supposed to just ignore that.
Right. So like, I feel like Hell in a Cell. It'll have to be a Hell in a Cell match or some kind of match, like that, because so that should be like, obviously that's a rubber match because it's 1-1 right now. So who, and most likely CM Punk will win that match. He has to do what he promised that he would do to Drew McIntyre in his promos prior to SummerSlam. He has to eviscerate Drew McIntyre, and that's what we should see. If I don't see that in their third and final match, well, for this set of, this series of matches,
This rivalry.
if I don't see that, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. So I'm holding off.
I can agree with you on that.
I'm holding off on saying like, maybe this is just like kind of like the appetizer, and like those two, the SummerSlam, which should have been a bigger match, obviously. SummerSlam being SummerSlam. I guess just seeing them in the ring together was like the mystique of it. But yeah, this Bad Blood better be a Hell in a Cell or something kind of match, ambulance match, casket. I don't know, something that like you could completely like. It better be shades of Kurt Angle, Shane McMahon, King of the Ring, where he puts him through the plexiglass or whatever glass thing and does the angle slam off the top. Like it better be to that where like Shane McMahon's busted open. Like it better be that. That's all I'm saying. It better be that. So I guess we'll see. But like I wasn't as enthused about this match either.
I mean, I'd say what we do about Bad Blood is we have CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell, because rumor is that they want Punk taking on Gunther at Survivor Series. This is not. This is only rumors here, so but I would say if these rumors are true, put them in Hell in a Cell. Winner gets the shot at the world title. Loser goes over to SmackDown. That way they are separated after the rivalry. Have them each other so bad that they have to be split up, and that's why the losers go into the other brand. Punk wins. He goes to face Gunther at Survivor Series. McIntyre loses. He goes to SmackDown. Then we get the McIntyre Cody Rhodes rivalry. That's the way I would book it. That's just me.
Yeah. All right. Next match was the mixed tag match featuring the women's world champion Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio against Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. I believe Will's
covering this one, right?
Yep.
So Dom and Liv Morgan come out first, and I mean Wade Barrett made the best commentator call shot on Michael Cole of the night, in my opinion, when Michael Cole was trying to get an interview with Dominic Mysterio while Rhea and Damian were coming out, and Barrett was like, you can't be like quick with that. It's gotta be slow like love. And then Michael Cole was like, oh well, it was fun. It was fun. Just go back and listen to that. Wade Barrett had the best punchline of the show with the commentary call, in my opinion, on that. The match actually starts off pretty quickly, and Dominic and what I remember off the top of my head is the beginning of this match. There was a lot of momentum going for Liv and Dom in the beginning of this match because there was shenanigans going from the other side causing distractions on Rhea and Damien respectively, that led to Damien either getting thrown into the steps by Dominic Mysterio, or while Dom was distracting the ref in the ring, Liv went up and raked Damien's eyes. So they were trying to Liv and Dom were trying to do some shenanigans and distractions to try getting the momentum early on, but Rhea and Damien would fight back. They would get the momentum, and the match gets pretty hectic with the combat. At one point, Rhea actually has Dom in that head scissors that she always did. When Dom was still with his father, she put Dom back in that head scissors position in the corner. So I guess that was a little bit of a fun callback to when Rhea first started interacting with Dom, which I thought was funny. But then Rhea and Liv are going back at it, and I want to say I'm hoping what Liv hit here was her new finisher. It looked like what Gigi Dolan does with the Gigi driver, just a slight difference, where Liv had Rhea like in a bent over position, and then a kind of octopus like hold, and then flipped around and slammed her down into a crucifix pin. And I'm hoping that's Liv's new finisher, because that looked intense. And I thought that was a great move. I thought that was the finish right there. There for a brief second. But of course, the rest of Judgment Day hasn't been involved, which I should have known, because Judgment Day always gets involved in these kind of things. So, get all four participants back in the ring. Rhea and Damien both hit razor edges on Liv and Dominic. Rhea throws Liv out of the ring and tells Damien to end it with Dom. So Damien's setting up for the oh crap, what does he call his choke slam? I can't remember.
South of Heaven.
The South of Heaven choke slam. But as he's setting that up, JD McDonough is coming out, Carlito's coming out. So Damien takes JD down, and Rhea slides out from under the ring, gets Carlito on her shoulders, and whips him headfirst into the apron. But Rhea is now outside the ring, so Liv is in position. Liv runs off the steps, and does this crazy sunset flip powerbomb that sends Rhea hard into the barricade, taking Rhea down. Damien gives a reaction, but Dom tries to take advantage of it. As Dom is trying to take advantage of it, but Damien catches him in the South of Heaven chokeland position. JD is distracting the referee. And I swear, this is the referee that's always refereeing the Judgment Day matches, and he always fails to not be distracted by all the members of Judgment Day and let all the Judgment Day shenanigans go on. You can hear Michael Cole on commentary yelling at the referee to do his job. But JD's distracting the ref, so Finn Balor comes running into the ring from out of the crowd. He hits Damian Priest with a sling blade, laying Damian Priest out, Damian to be frog splash by Dominic Mysterio. Dom hits it, gets a 1-2, but almost a 3 count, but Damian gets the shoulder up on this occasion. Finn tells Dom to tag in Liv Morgan. Dom does, though. Liv Morgan does a suicide dive to Rhea Ripley while she's still recovering from the sunset powerbomb outside. So Liv hits a suicide dive to the outside on Rhea, throws her back into the ring, and sets up for an oblivion, but Rhea was able to counter it. However, Rhea got distracted by JD. So then Rhea was able to hit a code red, I believe she calls it. It's the code breaker, essentially, but I think she called it code red. Might be mistaking another name for another move from someone else. But then Damien, while all this going on with Liv and Rhea in the ring, and Damien is dealing with JD and Carlito and Finn Balor outside. Then uh, Damien clears off the announce table and hurls gets ready to put Finn Balor through it with another South Heaven chokeslam. He has not been able to hit this move this match. It got deflected 3 times. Because Dominic Mysterio comes in and saves Finn from the chokeslam and sends Priest over onto the table. I don't know what exactly Dom was going for because he went onto the German announce table and was running at Damian Priest, but as he runs at Damian Priest, Damian just flat out clotheslines him. Liv watches Dom gets decapitated with this clothesline, and then Damian just stands in the ring. He points into the ring as if he's telling Liv to turn around because Rhea is back up. She is right behind Liv Morgan. Rhea then grabs Liv, hits the Riptide, and gets what I think she is calling the pretzel pin on Liv Morgan for the 1-2-3. The Terror Twins are victorious, and Judgment Day is left running.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like how I kind of hate how they always make the Judgment Day look bad for a certain amount of time. Like, they have like they're like the most roller coaster team I've seen in a while. Where like when they first came out, they were like losing a lot. I guess a lot like Damage Control as well. Then they had that like peak when they were all like champions at one point. Then they all went down again, then back up, and then, like when Rhea and like Damien were champions, and then back down now, and like it's just weird seeing what they are. Like it's just it's kind of like a joke of a stable, which I don't like. I love my stable. That's like my favorite thing. It's like stables. And it's kind of like a joke of a stable, but this match was good. I think the best point was like you're saying the Gigi driver that Liv Morgan did, or whatever you want to call it. Um, I do hope that is her new finisher because I don't think Oblivion's a very feasible finisher to have. So it was, I mean, it was a cool finisher, but I don't think it's very feasible. I like this one better, a lot better if this is her new finisher. And I think she should stick with it because it was a really cool move. Even though it didn't finish Rhea, but it was good. Where do I see this going from here? Now, I guess since the next PLE is called Bad Blood, I guess we'll finally see a Rhea versus Liv again one more time. And maybe we'll see Drew versus, uh, Damien versus Finn Balor. And hopefully it'll be a stipulation where like if Damien wins, like Judgment Day has to be disbanded. So that would be great to see because I don't like the makeup of it anymore. Like it's kind of stupid. Because like Carlito and JD are like just there to be fodder for like whenever we have like a brawl or a riot. They come in and they get just like knocked out right away. It's kind of stupid. Dom and Liv could be their own thing. Finn should be his own thing. He should have been the thing for the long time. But yeah, I feel like they should face each other one more time. Liv and Rhea, and then Damien and Finn should face each other, and that's just it. Let's have them go into new storylines now. Any thoughts?
I love how we forget that Finn Balor and JD are the current world tag team champions. Like that seems forgotten because JD, I don't take JD seriously because he's just always getting beaten up.
Exactly.
Like I'm questioning how they actually became tag team champions, which I mean it was all because of Liv's distracting on all truths. But I feel like when these guys when they defend their titles, whenever they do, because I don't think they defended their titles once, I have a feeling that JD is going to be taking the pin.
Right.
And I think it would be a fitting story that when JD and Finn defend their titles, Damian Priest comes out and screws Finn Balor and JD because Finn Balor is like this backstabber Balor is about.
Yeah.
Well, Damian Priest can prove, hey, I'm not the only backstabber that can be. You're not the only backstabber around. I can also do the same thing and screw you.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
That's
what I'm
the only
saying.
way I can see them the tag titles.
Yeah, I agree with that because that's what I've been saying. They have to like get rid of them. Like that's like it's so stupid. Like you said, I had forgotten they were tag team champions either too. So, but yeah. All right. That brings us to the main event of the evening for the World Heavyweight Championship, featuring the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther against Randy Orton in what was probably the slowest match of the evening. But it was a old school, old fashioned wrestling thing. There weren't that many big spots either, so it's not many big spots I can mention besides like the slam on the table on the outside. That we did have some like parts where Charles Robinson let the action go on. despite some like underhanded tactics by Randy Orton. But it was mostly like I feel like the crowd took over this match more than the match itself, because Randy Orton was playing along with the crowd. Well, obviously when he first comes out, lately we've been having the whole crowd sing his song and him just like taking it in, soaking in. Like he's seeing that he's in the twilight of his career, even though he did sign a new contract. It is pretty much towards the end of his career, and he's just appreciating all the moments that he has like this, and it's really taken to him. He's actually, seeing like all his years of work have brought him, and he's acknowledged like the acknowledgement that he's getting. He's appreciating it and taking it all in. So yeah, he came out to the normal entrance where the whole crowd sings the song. Gunther had a nice entrance as well. I've never heard Gunther's theme song until like this past PLE, I guess, because I never really paid attention to his. But like I made up my own words to it. I don't know if I even know if he has words to it, but like I did make up my own words to it. When they're doing their intros, Samantha Irvin was interrupted, much like Paul Heyman interrupts her or the other guy, Mike Rome. This time it was actually what the hell is this guy's name?
Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser. And he did like the intro for Gunther, which was a nice moment because like I didn't know that. I think I knew this, but I completely forgot about it, that they were friends since like 1915 or something, since like World War One. So like they went through the wrestling school together or whatever it was, and then they're still friends to this day, and they're together as like a tag team or faction, whatever you want to call it. It sucks that what's his name, Giovanni Vinci's not there, because I'd love to see them because I love my factions, so they're more like a tag team now, or kind of like a guy with a valet, I should say. But yeah, he did his intro. Very slow match, because the match started out with them just like kind of like circling each other, and they stopped twice to acknowledge the crowd chanting for them, which sucks. That's another thing, we haven't mentioned the crowd yet. The crowd was very loud and rambunctious, but the worst part of it being in Germany or any foreign places that they don't speak English, aside from Australia. But like I don't have an idea. I don't have any idea what they're saying. So like I'd love to understand what they were saying. I knew when they're counting 1, 2, 3. Yes, that I knew. But like other stuff, I didn't like. Maybe they're saying this is awesome. I don't know what they were saying, but like I think at one point like you see Randy Orton saying, mouthing like, I don't know what you're saying, but thank you, and he was like clapping. Like I wonder if they're ever close to each other. Randy was asking Gunther, what are they saying? What are they saying? I could see Randy doing that. But anyway, the match started out very slowly because they were pretty much acknowledging the crowd. The crowd was like the third man in the ring. That's what it felt like. Because it did take over a lot of the action. But a lot of it was just very slow, methodical wrestling. It wasn't any big spots, no speedy spots, nothing. We did have our normal spots with like the chops. We had the Randy Orton hanging DDT, the Randy Orton power slam, all that kind of stuff. We had Randy Orton being like the sly veteran that he is. But, Gunther being the ring general, he had some great counters. He also had his arm messed up, so he couldn't chop with his right arm, which is what Randy Orton did to take away like one of his Gunther's main offensives, which is his heavy-handed chop that he does. So he started chopping with his left hand, but it wasn't as effective as his right-hand chop. He also couldn't do a lot of his power moves with his right arm because of Randy Orton taking out Gunther's right arm. There was a moment where I think Gunther slammed Randy on the table on the outside. Didn't break though, but that was probably the big spot on the outside. I can't remember any other big spot on the outside. They got back to the inside, and there's just a lot of power moves by Gunther and a lot of like signature moves by Orton, and then like them just stopping and just like admiring the crowd again. Like there'd be like lulls in the action where they just like the crowd's getting up, and like you can even see like Wade Barrett get up when they actually zoomed up on the crowd. Like Wade Barrett was dancing to what the crowd was saying and all that, so, along with the German announcer that was next to him. So like it was a lot. Like I said, the crowd was very involved in this match, and it was really noticeable that like it took over the match at some points where the wrestlers actually had to stop and like just go on with the crowd. But yeah, there was a superplex hit by Randy Orton throughout the match, and they had a chop battle where where they go boo ah, but it was really like both people are cheered for by the audience. They had like let's go Randy, let's go Gunther, which we do hear that for both sides a lot, but I felt like this time was like, even though Gunther's kind of a heel, it was very much like cheering for him, obviously because it's his home, right? So I guess it was just nice. It was just, even though like the opening match with Cody and Kevin Owens, they're both faces, and like I felt like these two were treated more like the top faces, even though one's a heel. which is weird to say, but like the way that it came out with the crowd being the third person, like or fourth person, I say, because the referee's in the ring. Um, it just really felt like these were like the top heels. I mean, sorry, top faces in the company, even though they're not. And it was just fun to see. But anyway, so Orton went for an RKO. Gunther countered it, hit a German suplex, and then a T-Rex dropkick, and went for the splash off the top. He couldn't lock his Gunther couldn't lock Randy Orton's right. I mean, he couldn't lock his leg with his right arm, so he kind of like leaned over him and like locked it with a reverse lock with his left arm, if you can imagine what that looks like. And he didn't get the three. He tried to then power bomb Orton, but his arm kind of gave way, and Orton was able to hit an RKO for that, and Orton had like a 2 count from that. I think that's maybe I think Gunther did get put through an announcer table, didn't he? I think he did towards the end.
I think he went through the table because I remember Randy did his backdrop thing from the top of the steel steps.
Yeah.
Onto the table. I don't remember if the table broke.
Yeah, I think the table did break. That was the other big spot on the outside. This time he did go to the table because the first time when Gunther slammed Orton onto the table, it didn't break. But then when Orton slammed Gunther through it, it broke. I think that's what the audience was waiting for anyway. Eventually, Orton brings Gunther back in the ring, goes for an RKO, but the Gunther countered into a sleeper, but he was not able to hold it in because of his injured arm. So Orton got out of it and tried to go for another RKO, but Gunther locked in the sleeper again, and then Orton picks up Gunther and falls back onto him, which eventually breaks the sleeper finally, and he sits up, but he sits up still in the same position, like with Gunther on his back, trying to recuperate, but before he can recuperate, Gunther like sits up kind of like Undertaker does and puts Randy Orton to another sleeper again, and at this point it was just too much. Orton just got choked out, basically. He got knocked out, he went to sleep, and the referee called for the bell, and Gunther retained. After the match, the two looked at each other for a bit, and Gunther extended his left arm because his right arm was already still messed up. And Randy Orton took it and said, "Hey man, like what a match! Like you are the new guy, you are the guy." And there's a nice show of like mutual, respect, which is kind of what we saw when, Brock shook hands with Cody Rhodes after their match, where Brock is a heel, but at that point, fans still like him, and he extended the hand, which you wouldn't expect, and this point, Gunther extended the hand, him being a heel again, that we didn't expect that, and Orton took it, and it was just a great match. It was a great moment to see. And then after the cameras went off, or after the pay-per-view review went off, PLE went off, they had the post show, which is kind of lingering with Gunther still in the ring, and they went to like the post show with I think it was a Kathy Kelly or someone interviewing Gunther, but before that could happen, you see Ludwig Kaiser come in and like hug him, and they both took in the moment of them together, this whole journey that they went on, and them being together was really cool to see. And then, of course, Gunther gave his little answer to the question that Kathy Kelly asked, like how does it feel to be in front of your home and like beat a legend like Randy Orton or whatever the question was, and the whole answer was in German, and I thought Ludwig Kaiser was there to like translate for us or something, but no, it just went off the air after that, so that was about it. But it was a good match. I thought it was a good match. Very slow, very slow. I noticed how slow it was, but it was just like I said, more of a story being told with appreciating Germany, like, and the fans, kind of like how Lyon France had, but this kind of like acknowledged the fans a little bit more because they stopped the match to like look around and like applaud the audience, which more like in the Lyon they like just wrestled with it, like being like their like impetus, like their driving force, like they use that, they fed off the energy of the crowd. But here they actually like stopped and like took in the whole crowd in the whole moment, and I really feel like that was kind of big for this match because it was a very slow match. And that, what do you think, Will?
I thought the match was alright. Like you said, it was slow, but I feel like Gunther is the perfect wrestler that can make a slow match entertaining. Gunther is easily one of my favorite wrestlers to watch right now in anything he puts on because I find his matches entertaining, whether it's the ones that he had with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre that was a brutal brawl match, or the SummerSlam match that he had with Damian Priest, or even the ones that the matches that he had with the Miz over the IC title. I think Gunther is the perfect wrestler that WWE has right now to put on these slow story built matches, and I think I'm not a huge fan of long title runs. Gunther is the exception because he's always there. They're 9 times out of 10 he's like when he was the IC champion for 600 something odd days. He was defending the title like every other week. It felt like I don't want him defending the world title every week, but it feels when he's been champion in his entire WWE tenure for like I believe they said it was like 75% of the time he's been with WWE, he had gold on his shoulder.
I feel like more than
So
that because he's only lost like 3 matches, right? Technically, something like that. So for like
no, this is including NXT UK
I
and
am.
all
I know.
that.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's been champion NXT UK, and then when he lost that title, like the next day he won the NXT champion, and then when he lost that, the next day he like won the Intercontinental champion. Like he's always like moved up. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he's the next match is usually like almost pretty much a title match, and he's the champion again. Like, and he holds that belt. Like that's the thing. Like he's only had a few losses, and those are just to drop that title to get the next title.
Because Michael Cole even said on the commentary, "Oh, in 20 years we're gonna see Gunther as being the idea of being the next 14, 15-time world champion." I don't see Gunther losing the world title
Yeah,
14, 15 times.
exactly.
I think he's gonna have similar reigns to like the Bruno Sammartinos or Roman Reigns and all that. But I think he's the type of wrestler that I could see legitimately being like that having these long reigns.
Another thing about
Reigns.
Gunther is that he doesn't really even he. I know he can talk to the mic, but he doesn't really talk that much on the mic. A lot of his story is told through the way he wrestles and his in ring work. It's not really told through him on the mic. That's what makes him very unique in the way he is. So like he is like I guess Ric Flair in that sense, but Ric Flair can obviously talk on the mic. Um, Same as Bret Hart, but there's people like that are very good in the ring. That's what Gunther is, but he doesn't really need to talk on the mic that much. I feel like I said, like he tells a story through his work in the ring, and that's very unique. And I think that's what's going to be a big asset to his title reign or any of his matches or any of his the rest of his career, I should say, not just his title reigns. And I think that's so important. And like that's how we saw in this match. Like I feel like the story was told through the match as opposed to like even though there wasn't a story leading up to it, with the whole King of the Ring controversy. So any other thing
Yeah,
before?
and that's even another thing that Gunther could say that he wanted to finish this match with a sleeper hold instead of just doing a pin, so people can't go back and say, "Oh, you beat Randy Orton when you beat he wasn't risking Randy Orton having the shoulders up for a pin this time. He made Orton pass out. He definitively beat Randy Orton in this showing.
But now we just gotta go back and watch the tape to make sure both his shoulders weren't down when he knocked him out, because then that would be pretty bad. All right. Speaking of finishers, let's get to our finisher. Will, what is your low point, your high point, and overall grade?
My high point is gonna be the Gunther and Randy Orton match. I think I think that was even though it was a slow build and not the many spots. Like I mean, I'm not a junkie, but I like my wrestling matches on PLEs having certain spots in it. But I felt like this match had a great storytelling that didn't require the spots that like you could watch future wrestlers can study this match, learn from this match, and know the craft of working a longer crowd, as you were saying, and interaction and the storytelling of it. of it. So that's my high point. My low point is gonna be honestly the women's tag match for the women's tag titles. I honestly feel like that could have been on SmackDown, and we could have had the Nia Jax Michin street fight here on Bash in Berlin, because I felt like that street fight on SmackDown was better than this tag team match match. That match was definitely my low point of the match. I would give Bash in Berlin overall a, let's go with a low B, but higher than B minus, somewhere in that range.
So like an 82.5.
Yes.
Okay. For me, my low point was probably maybe I don't know. I guess the Cody match not having a story. Like I think that was like not. I didn't really like that. You know, even though they did try to tell a story during the match with the whole knee thing, which was good. Like they tried to bring something into it, but I think going into it, they knew like there was not really a story. So let's try to have a story. Like well, and I think they did try to do that towards the end of the right before the match, I guess the final SmackDown before, where they're like, he's turned on you, like I mean, he'll turn on you. Kevin Owens has turned, well, because it was like the Grayson Waller effect or something. Is that what they did it? Where
yeah, it was the Grayson Waller effect where
he's like, they showed like him turning on
they brought up.
him turning on Sammy, him turning on Jericho, him turning on like everybody. So I think they tried to bring a story into that like last minute, and then add through the match as well with the knee thing. But without like it being anything, it wasn't really much intrigue for it. Like I said, Cody's yet to do anything like story wise other than the bloodline that has really captivated me. The high point was probably the crowd in the final match, not even the match itself, because I thought the match was very slow. I think the crowd and the wrestlers acknowledging the crowd during the match, I think that was really cool. Not only that, but with the whole Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser thing, that was kind of cool too. Their whole journey together. Overall grade, I'll probably give like a C minus. Maybe I wasn't really looking forward to any match besides the strap match, and the strap match didn't really do anything for me. So actually, I'll give it a D. I'll give it a D because it wasn't like this really didn't do anything for me at all. Delisha says she agrees with me in low point because she says that Cody Rhodes sucks. Basically, high point was Gunther versus Orton, and overall is a B minus like Will. So, well, not B. Will's is like B minus, B minus, a little bit over that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this was kind of like a filler PLE for what the next Bad Blood is. We'll see whatever the aftermath of this will probably bleed over into Bad Blood. Bleed over, get it? And yeah, so I think that's what's gonna happen, and then that should end storylines so that we can have a nice new start from Survivor Series on. Aside from the Bloodline, because the Bloodline storyline's been going on for a few years, I think, what they were talking about. Because, they have like 48 million members in the family, so it can go on forever. But before we go, Will, like, what have you been up to? I know, like, your whole computer situation. I don't know if people have been following you on Twitter or not, but if you want to let them know about your computer situation, your streaming, and where we can find you.
So I do stream on YouTube and Twitch, but I'm currently unable to stream because I gotta take my computer to a repair shop and get it repaired. So once I can afford to get that fixed, I will be back live streaming. But until I'm live on YouTube and Twitch, you can always find me on Twitter or message me on Discord if you happen to be in my Discord server. My messages are always open to chat about wrestling and all that, should you wish. Thank you for having me.
Yep, thank you for joining us, Will. As for me, the next time you'll probably see us here is at Bad Blood. The PLE is on October 5th, and the AfterMat will be on October 7th. Hopefully, Delisha will be back by then because we cannot stand any more of Will's terrible takes, even though Delisha is a woman and whatever she says doesn't really matter either. So, basically the only thing that matters here is me, and I have all the right takes and all the right predictions. As I successfully predicted every match at Bash in Berlin, saying that Roman Reigns would win every match, which he did. You guys just weren't watching the PLE properly, so you didn't see it. But yeah, for the people with the true sight, they saw it, and they know what it's all about. But until then, the next time you should see us then is at Bad Blood I am your secret boss, and remember, I'm always right, and everyone else sucks. We'll see you next time.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.